Hey everyone, welcome back to Papa's Workshop. One of the things that I really enjoy is making signs on the CNC machine. And I don't like just doing the rectangle signs like a lot of these that you see up here. I like to be a little bit more creative. And one of the styles that I like is the Old Western signs, or the Old West. There's a lot of different designs that you can take a look at and create some very interesting signs. Now today what I want to do is look at Google Images, take a look at some of the different designs, and then actually create our own sign in VCarve Pro. It's really very simple. People think it's very complicated, and it's not. One of the things that I'd like for you to do is leave me a comment down below and tell me what is your favorite shape of sign. And did you find it in the Old West images, or do you have other images and style of signs that you like to be able to create? Now what I want to do is come over to the Google Images, and I want to type in Old West signs. And let's take a look and see what we can find. There's a lot of different sizes and shapes in here, and you can do just about any shape that you want. See, this is an interesting shape here. You have just a curve on the top. And this is interesting where you have the curves and then basically a part of a circle. There's really a lot of very interesting signs that you can make. And I think what I'm going to do is just keep it fairly simple and look at this one. If we look up close at this, and this is a sign that's actually made to be sold, but you can look at this and see that it's basically a set of rectangles. Because you have one rectangle in this area, you have another rectangle in this area, and then you have an arc in here, which is really just part of a circle. So can we create something similar to that? I think we can. For today's project, we're going to use VCarve Pro. Now I'm going to do this project where it's basically 24 inches by 24 inches, which means if you have the VCarve desktop, this will be fine. You can use that as well. So I'm going to come right over to this section and create a new file. We're going to do this as a single-sided sign, and I'm going to set the size of this sign at 24 inches by 24 inches. The depth really doesn't matter. We're not going to carve all the way through, and we're going to keep this in inches. I want to be able to have the 0 position right here on the surface. So we have this box checked. Now the XY datum position, I don't want it down here in the bottom left-hand corner right now. I want to work off of the center. And if you want to change that later on, when you get ready to carve it, you certainly can do that. But we're going to start off in the center right now. The rest of this will be fine. We're not doing any 3D carving, so we'll hit OK. To begin this project, we're going to need to have a rectangle. So I'll come up here to this icon for draw the rectangle. And you can actually put in the size, but I think what I'm going to do is just kind of sketch it out and see what I want to be able to do. And at this point, I don't know the size. We'll bring this down to the center right there. And I think I'm going to make it a little bit narrower. Let's make it about there. All right, we'll keep that for right now. Let's extend it out just a little bit further. Now at this point, I really don't know what size this is, and that's okay. So I can center this by just bringing it up here and let it snap on the line, or what I can do is come back over to this icon right here, and then I can just click on this to align it, and it brings it up into the center. So there's the basic first rectangle of the sign. Now there was another rectangle that was basically on top of that. So let's close our centering and alignment tool, come back to the rectangle, and let's just draw in another rectangle. Let's put it right in this area. And I think that is going to look pretty good. I think what we're going to do though, let's make it a little bit larger this way. The sides over here I think will be fine. So we'll leave it that. Of course, it's not centered. So let's go back and align it again so that this is centered. And that takes care of the two basic shapes of the sign. Now let's make this a little bit more usable. Let's come in here to our trim tool. We'll click on that and we can actually trim these out. We don't need those anymore. So now we have the basic shape of our sign. Now remember there was an arc in here. So let's go over to the circle tool. We'll highlight that and let's just draw out a circle. Something, I'd say about like that. Doesn't have to be exact. And we'll take that and slide it down some. And let's, instead of making it a straight circle, let's stretch this out a little bit and create an oval. So you can have fun with this and really do anything that you want. And that looks pretty good. So we'll leave it at that for right now. Let's come back to our clip tool and let's clip out all of this extra information that we really don't need here. And there we go. There's your basic sign shape. Now, if we want to put the arc at the bottom, we could just mirror this and do that and cut this in half. That would be one way to do it. Or we could just create another circle and do the same thing again. We'll create the circle just like that. We'll stretch it out again. Whoop, that's another circle. So we'll cut that. And now we'll take this circle and we're going to do the same thing. Let's bring it down some. Let's stretch it out. And if you want to change the shape from the top to the bottom, you can do that. But this is just a real easy way to be able to do it. Again, we're going to come back to the scissors tool, cut all this extra information out. And there is our basic shape for the sign. Just that easy. Now, one of the things we need to take a look at is this all joined together. And if I click just one spot, yes, it is. It's all joined together. And that's pretty nice. So there's no open vectors that we need to worry about. The other thing that this sign had that we were looking at had some inside radiuses. So we can do that as well. And one of the ways to do that is just create a circle. And we can make this circle, let's just say 2 inches. And with that circle at 2 inches, let me show you what we can do with this. We can bring this right over here and have it snap right at that point. And then we can take our scissors tool and cut this away. And you have the inside fillet, just that simple. If you want to have it where some of the radius are down here at the 1 inch, make it curved like that. You can really do anything that you want with this sign. I think I'm going to do the inside radius with this also, so I'm going to close this out. And let's come back to my draw circle. We'll make this circle. If you didn't want to make it 2 inches, you don't have to. You do not have to make it 2 inches at all. You can make it any size that you want. And I think that looks good. And let's just hit Control C and Control V. That puts another circle on top. We'll just drag that one over and let it snap in position just like that. And then we can do the same thing. Let's grab our tool to be able to trim the vectors, come in on the inside, trim those vectors away, trim the outside, and there you go. You have a real nice sign real quick. Now, as far as down here, if you want to do anything with that, we can do the same thing. Let's draw one more circle. We'll do the same thing again. We'll come out the 2 inches. We'll make Control C and Control V to duplicate it. Didn't want to do that, but I have 2 circles now on top of each other, and you can see that by basically a double line. So what I want to do is grab this one circle and see I can pull that off to the side. I'm going to bring it over here, let it snap in position. We're going to do the same thing. You can see the difference. Now it's an actual dotted circle. And we'll bring that over here to this one, let it snap in position. And of course you have to make sure that these snaps are on up here. With that done, do the same thing. We'll come and clip on the inside of these 2, just like that. Clip on the outside, and that's it. Oftentimes, there is basically a border around this, and they'll recess and cut out and make the letters stand up tall. So what I can do is highlight this, come down to the offset tool, and then we can offset this inward, and let's go in about 3/4 of an inch, and let's see what that looks like. We're going to keep the original, so we'll just hit offset, and there you go. Now you have this portion right here, which creates a border, and now you can come inside of this area and type in any text that you want. So it's very simple and easy to be able to create what looks like some fairly complicated signs very easily. Now once you have your sign done and you're happy with the shape of it, you can actually come over and add text to it. So let's just click on this and let's change to something that looks a little bit more Western style. I think this would be a good one. Let's do the playbill. And let's just type in here, Old West sign. And we can close that out. Now, is that the size that we want it? Certainly not. But we can take this now and make it much bigger. Same thing. Come up here to our alignment tool, center it. And there you have an Old West sign created very easily. And the only thing that would be left to do is to add the different tool paths. Now you could add more text in here if you wished, or you could put other types of graphic into this area. But this is a very simple way to be able to create an Old West sign that looks very complicated, but now you know that it's very simple to be able to create. I want to thank everybody for watching this video today. I hope it helped you. I hope it will give you a little bit of inspiration to be able to get out into the shop and design some of your own signs and get away from just the straight rectangle and square shaped signs. So if you found this video useful, you know the routine. Please give me a thumbs up and hit that little subscribe button and the bell notification so that you'll be notified on the different videos. So until next time, I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next video. So for now, bye-bye.